comes and goes in the blink of an eye. Soon as I swear you've been left behind, all the colors come back so bright. Wish I could keep you in black and white, sort of like a picture in a drawer. I don't wanna look at anymore, but it's too hard to ignore that I'll never not feel like yours. Holding on to someone new's the only time I feel like I'm still holding on to you. It's like an instant rewind to New Year's Eve and midnight. Taste your lips like Napa red wine. Wish I wasn't looking back on you, but I still do. Deja vu, deja vu, deja vu. It comes and goes like the pull of a wave. Here for a second and down the drain. I'm getting dizzy doing double takes. I'm overseeing you and everything, but it's too hard to ignore that I'll never not feel like yours. Oh no, holding on to someone new's the only time I feel like I'm still holding on to you. It's like an instant rewind to New Year's Eve at midnight. Taste your lips like Napa red wine. Wish I wasn't looking back on you, but I still do. Deja vu.